Hey everybody, welcome to Geekaholics Anonymous, episode 84. I'm your host, Rico, here with my co-host,
Dane Cody.
That was a long pause. I'm like, is he here?
Oh yeah, I was here. It was for effect, man. Come on.
I know you like changing it up lately. It's fun. If you have never listened to the show before, welcome. We get together once a week, talk about video games, TV, movies, and whatever the hell we like. Usually technology, computer
And
stuff.
video games. Lots of video games.
Lots of video games.
Lots of video games.
Random movies.
Yeah.
TV shows we're into. You name it.
And VR.
Yes, your official VR podcast.
VR.
Arr.
It's the pirate. VR.
We usually open up the show with our designated drinking section where Dane shares his delicious alcohol he may be sipping on for the evening. Get into some what you been playing, where we yap about what games we're consuming all our free time right now. Some news, and then we get into our free-for-all if we have anything, and or some extra bonus sections. Like this week we have a PSA public service announcement, which is pretty obvious what that's going to be about.
Dude, is it like a public service announcement?
Mm-hmm. Very important.
Oh, wow.
Very important for our listeners out there. So, Dane,
What's up?
what are you drinking, buddy?
Dude, tonight, after telling you that you should be drinking more, I made one of my own concoctions. Some soda water, some vodka, little lime juice, mix it up in there. Da-da-da-da. There you go.
Nice.
Some tastiness.
Does it have a name?
Vodka soda, vodka lime. I don't know. It might have a name.
Vodka
I
Twist.
just call it. Yeah, there you go. Sure.
Give it a name. Put a flag in it, like the moon.
Well, I definitely know it's not mine necessarily.
Just
so.
say it is. Just make a story up.
Psh, just totally mine.
Just own it. I know I said I was
Yeah.
going to drink this week, but I'm still sick.
You're sick, so
So
I understand.
It's been a week now.
You drinking like Rooibos tea or something?
No, I'm not drinking anything. I know.
Fair enough.
I'm a bum.
Jeez.
Not that you guys know by the time you listen to this, but we're actually recording a little early because of the
Yeah.
American Thanksgiving. Dane's wife is American, so
She is.
he has to take part in the American traditions like Thanksgiving, shooting
Hey, man.
hens.
That means that I get Thursday and Friday off work this week. What?
You had to use vacation
So
for
there.
that, though, didn't you?
Yeah, but whatever.
Yeah. Well, that's still, who can't complain.
Yeah. I get
Long
2 days off. So.
weekend. Oh man, you'll be able to
Exactly.
take advantage of all the Black Friday savings.
Yeah, I probably won't. But
I have to work Friday. I have to crash my window or my van through the front window of the store and see if I can get anything. Because it is not a holiday in the up north Canada in our igloos and snowstorms.
this
and
is true.
polar
It is
bears.
not. Unless you take it off, like me.
Even though there's no snow right now at all, at least where we
No.
are. On the
Lots
west,
of rain.
on the west side, west coast, best coast. I think it snows like once, maybe every couple of years.
Yeah, I don't even know if it snowed last year.
I
here.
was just thinking. I don't think it snowed last year.
No. It was kind of chilly yesterday, but it's raining. So, whatever.
It was cold the other day, and I'm like, man, it feels like it could snow, but thank God it didn't. Then
I
again,
know.
I don't know. I think I like snow better than I like rain.
Oh, man, you don't have to shovel the rain.
You don't, but you work inside, and I work half outside, and I get pissed on, and it's not fun.
No, that's true,
Getting pissed on is not fun.
but getting snowed on is even less fun because it's like getting pissed on, but it's cold. And the roads are super shitty, and you got to drive everywhere, and everybody's an idiot.
It's
And
true.
you and I both do a lot of driving, and so that makes our lives very difficult.
That's the other half of my days driving. No, that's not right. It's like half driving, 40% outside, and 10% inside. No, that's not right. It's probably 50, 25, 25.
Yeah, there you go.
I'm half in and out, but definitely half my day is spent driving around.
Yeah.
I didn't get up too much this weekend. Obviously, I was sick. I did play some vids. I was hoping to get Christmas lights out, but that didn't happen. That'll be this weekend's project. I seem to be, I don't know, Dane says I sound worse this week, but I feel better, and I think I'm kicking it. It's been about a week now that I've been sick.
Fair enough. Yeah, it was about a week, eh?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I only took a day of work. It's so fun. I feel so bad because, not really. Work is stupid work places in general in North America and their sick days. I don't really have limited sick days at my work.
Right.
Basically, I don't want to say
as long as you don't abuse it, it's okay.
Well, if you don't do a certain number of sick days in a certain time period, usually you just fall under the radar.
Right.
So if you did less than 12 in a year sick days, you probably wouldn't get talked to.
Okay.
But it depends how frequent they are. So like if you spread them out, you definitely would not get spoken to. But if you were sick, like say a bunch of weeks in a row, like one day here, one day there, one day there, yeah, you're going to get talked to because it's going to fall under some little weird number of,
right.
Magic sick day math that they'll be like, you're way too sick for what the average is for everyone. But
right, because they've got access to those numbers.
But technically, there isn't like a sick day limit per se. But you don't want to be sick a million days in a row. And they give you guff if you're sick on Fridays and Mondays because some people use it to pad their weekends.
Right.
So I was sick on Wednesday last week, so I stayed home. I'm like, okay, was dead that day. I'm like, I just need a day to relax, rest.
Yeah.
And
sleep,
just
recuperate.
Yeah, get ahead of this thing.
For sure.
And it definitely helped. But I should have taken Thursday and Friday, but I didn't because I'm just like, I don't want to deal with the nonsense if they're like, oh, you took 3 sick days, and it's like, whatever. I haven't taken any for a while, so it doesn't matter. But it's just, I just like avoiding those conversations. So I went back to work and I had a call that I was at and I had to go back on Friday and I swear I got the person sick.
Oh, really?
Because they weren't sick on the Thursday and they were sick as hell on the Friday.
Oh, that's too bad. That's always the hard one. And for me, I'm lucky as long as
not my fault.
Abusing this, as long as you're not abusing being sick, it's fine.
Yeah.
Obviously, if you were constantly being sick on a fairly regular, frequent basis, then somebody would obviously eventually say, like, look, hey, come on, what's going on here? But ultimately, yeah, if you're genuinely sick and you need a day or two, that's fine. It is what it is.
Yeah, my old work was terrible. We're just going on a tangent now. Sorry, people. My old work, if you called in sick, they're like, you sure you can't come in? You sure you can't? Really? You can't? Like, they would really like, no, I'm phoning because I want to have this conversation with you. Oh, yeah, you know what? I don't feel like fucking total shit and I want to come in because you're an asshole trying to guilt me. They were the worst. They treated you like children. It was like your parents when you were in high school or in elementary school pretending to be sick.
Right.
Kind of don't really do that now. I don't know. Sometimes you do, but for the most part, you don't. I call in sick when I'm sick. My new work, they don't even care. You just say,
yeah,
I'm
for
sick.
me, it's an email. I don't even make a phone call. I just send an email to everybody and say,
I have to call in to the office because they have to deal with my work, which isn't a big deal because there's so many guys there. It's very easy to deal with.
Right.
But, yeah, I just call in and say I'm sick and they're like, oh, get better. I hope you feel better soon. It's like, yeah, thanks. It's like such a different energy from my old work where it's like, you're not calling in sick. You need to come in. Like, really? It was just I don't know. What a shitty place.
For me, it's a little bit different because I tend to be the on-site guy. So when I'm sick, especially if stuff was scheduled, it can be a real problem. But for the most part, it's really not an issue. I shoot an email in to the employees.
Well, that's
group,
it. Like I had one day.
They say that way. I think it's a way of they want everybody to know about it.
Yeah.
Instead of just you making one phone call to a certain person. This way, you're sort of held to it by your peers as well.
Mm-hmm.
So everybody is kind of going like, oh, Dane's sick today. Oh, that sucks. Okay. And I think that if you started abusing it, you would have not just your boss, but your peers kind of going like, what's going on?
Yeah, because they have to pick up your calls and go do your shit.
Yeah, exactly. So
at our work, it's not so noticeable because there's so many guys there. So I know when I'm picking up calls from guys that have been sick. Like today, I picked up a call that someone who called in sick this morning didn't make to, but it's not a big deal. But like, yeah, for me, I do have like escalations and stuff that are specific for me. Like I get executive escalations from like the top that like super squeaky wheels that need grease. Mm-hmm. And once I was sick and I had one of those calls and I basically just had to call into my work and was like, look, this has to go to what's his nuts. He's got nothing on his day to day. He'll take care of it. I already talked to him. He knows what's up.
No, that's fair.
Yeah. And then they even screw that up sometimes. Oh my God. Okay. Enough
work talk.
Yeah. Enough sick and work. So
I'm sick of work.
Let's get into what you've been playing. Let's talk about some video games. No one gives a shit about work. That's why we're fucking here.
Exactly.
I beat Infinite Warfare's campaign.
Nice.
I was not right at the end.
No, I didn't think you were.
I thought I was. It was like the climax, and it was like the longest climax.
Climax.
Yeah, there was a lot of game left after that point.
That wouldn't be the first Call of Duty game to do that.
It was a fantastic campaign. I said that. I'm pretty sure I alluded to that.
You tweeted that
week
on Twitter.
Yeah, I tweeted it. The Infinity Ward guys. Awesome characters, a great story, a followable story, a believable story. Nice little space opera. Felt, like I said, Star Wars or Mass Effect, just minus silly powers and being military. But they had the warping and the ships and the ship combat and
the RPG elements of leveling up and stuff.
There was none of that stuff.
Right.
There was the loadout stuff, and then there was the galaxy map where you could kind of choose your side missions before you continue the main missions, which unlocked perks. I guess you could say it's RPG-ish, but not really leveling, but you could unlock perks for your loadouts. Reminded me of Battlestar Galactica a lot, too. It was just
that's what you were saying.
Really good campaign. And, I, teared up in the end. I don't...
Wow.
Yeah, that's crazy. And I don't want to say anything more than that, because I don't want to spoil it.
So I gotta ask, because this is a thing that's happening. If you had to only play one, would you play Titanfall or would you play Infinite Warfare?
I don't think I could choose. They're both really good.
Because, Titanfall, I feel, is maybe a better full package because the multiplayer's better.
Well, I don't know about that.
But...
because in Infinite Warfare, I haven't even touched the Modern Warfare Remastered. I don't really care for the Infinite Warfare multiplayer that much, but I have been playing tons of zombies, which is technically a multiplayer mode from Infinite Warfare. Though it be themed, it is a lot of fun.
Right.
That's actually honestly why I probably, or not why I probably haven't, why I haven't gone back to Battlefield is because me and my brother-in-law have been playing tons of zombies.
Fair enough.
But yeah, Infinite Warfare, the campaign's spectacular. If you don't have no interest in zombies or multiplayer or any of that shit, I would just suggest you rent it. Get it from, I don't know if you can rent it. Does anywhere even rent video games anymore? Get it from the library if you're in...
Gamefly.
We don't have Gamefly in Canada. I guess if you're in the States...
Do we not? I thought we did.
I don't think so. I don't know. Do a search. I'm pretty sure we don't have anything like Gamefly here. But being in Canada and in BC as we are, a lot of us have access to libraries that rent video games, so you can rent it if you don't want to buy it. I strongly suggest you definitely play it. If you're into shooter campaigns. If you don't care for shooters, it's not going to
change your mind.
It's not going to
change your life.
It's not going to change your mind. But I honestly think it's one of the best, if not the best. It's right up there with that original Modern Warfare campaign.
Wow.
It's really good.
That Modern Warfare campaign is fucking rad.
I honestly think it's a smidge better than Titanfall 2.
Whoa.
But Titanfall 2 is really good. So don't get me wrong. That's why I
think it's better than Titanfall 2.
It's just they're different. They're the same, but they're different. They're very different games too. There's some cool mechanics in Titanfall that we don't want to talk about that are spoilery that were fantastic. BT was really good.
I love BT.
Ethan, your robot companion in Infinite Warfare, is really good as well. They're very different games, and they're both really, really good. But I know a lot more. I gotta just kind of stress this because I know more people dismiss Call of Duty. Unless you're a Call of Duty player, but you usually only play it for the multiplayer. You don't play it for campaign. It's got an awesome campaign. It's a cool story, and yeah, it got me in the feels at the end.
I feel like if either of these is getting dismissed, it's the Titanfall of the two. I feel like there's... Well, you and I both know...
Yeah, but people don't buy Call of Duty for campaign, though.
No, but I guess my point being is that Call of Duty is not going to be hurting. They're going to sell a shitload of Call of Duties, and that's not going to change.
But
right?
if you're a hardcore gamer, not a casual gamer, most hardcore gamers kind of look at, oh, COD, another Call of Duty, whatever. They just brush it off, right?
Yeah, I guess that's true.
Let's be honest, like that. There's that nerdy attitude, or our group's culture attitude towards Call of Duty, like, oh, that's the dude bro shooter. Let's just brush it aside and who cares, right?
It is a dude bro shooter. There's no doubt about it.
It is, but it almost has a stigma from more hardcore gamers, right? A Final Fantasy 15 player is going to go Call of Duty Infinite Warfare, right? Do you know what I mean? Am I not right? You know what I'm saying, right?
I know what you're saying, yeah.
So, anyway, yeah, it's a Call of Duty, but it's got a really good story. Awesome characters, and I really enjoyed it a lot. Fantastic. So, if you're on the fence, I really suggest playing it. Titanfall 2...
I'm on the fence. I mean, I want to play it.
Titanfall 2 and Infinite Warfare, both fantastic games. You're not going to go wrong with either one. And then the other thing I want to talk about, I don't know, did I talk about zombies a lot last week? I don't think so, did I? Or did I just mention?
You mentioned that you were playing it.
So, I haven't been playing Battlefield because I've been playing tons of zombies with my brother-in-law and or by myself because you could play solo. I never played
zombies. Does it stuck you with randos if you play solo? Or
no, you can play solo.
Oh, okay. So you're just playing by yourself.
Or you could play with a group of people. It reminds me of Left 4 Dead.
Right. That's what you were saying.
Know that there's the hordes of zombies, the escalating difficulty, different enemy types that get introduced as you get farther along. But it's not the same in that it's a stage progression from A to B. You're in a theme park, unlocking
so you're
secrets.
Sort of in one area, right?
Mm-hmm. And you earn money as you kill zombies, and you buy weapons. You upgrade weapons. You unlock new sections of the park, because it's just a really small area at first. And as you, there's these borders or fences blocking areas, and they cost money, and you basically open up different sections of the park, and eventually you'll have the whole park open. Like I said, it curls onto itself. It's vertical. It goes underneath. There's areas underneath the different parts. It goes through rides. There's an arcade. There's a roller coaster.
Nice.
There's a bunch of cool little areas, and there's all these little secrets.
So then as you play, does it expand those areas?
Well, you expand.
Or is it always...
It's always the same amusement park.
Okay.
I think I've seen all of it now, but by the time you've unlocked it all, you're probably around wave 10 plus or minus. And it's getting pretty hectic at this point. All the while you're trying to figure out these little secrets. There's all these little puzzles of items laying around and or weapons that you build. you'll find stuff in the environment that's like, oh, you need something else to activate this, or turn the power on to give you access to here, and buy this item and go through this portal. It's really cool. It's like, it feels like a roguelike. You get perks that boost your strength or give you different abilities. You can buy these perks as you don't level up.
Right.
Your guns.
Do you get money in between, or you buy different?
You consistently get money as you kill the zombies.
Okay.
So as you're killing the zombies, you're always getting money. And as you open up new sections of the park, you open up access to different weapons. They'll be around the park, and you buy the weapons, and they come fully loaded. And actually, as you use the weapons, they level up, so you can customize the loadout. So say you die and you have to start over again. The next time you go pick up that gun, you may have unlocked new sight, extended mag, silencer, whatever, depending on what your playstyle is like, right? So every time you're getting better every time you play, and you're also leveling up your weapons, and you get farther and farther and farther every time you play, as you're trying to figure out the secrets to get out of the park. You've been transported to an amusement park in the 80s by some deranged dude who's making a horror flick. Except for
like that they actually try to do some sort of semblance of a story.
It has a full story, like an intro video, and you basically
wake up in this haunted amusement park.
You're trying to figure out how to get out by finding these items and doing these weird things. I know.
So then, can you actually get out? Is that
that's what I don't know, if there's actually an end to it. There is,
or do the waves just keep coming until you die?
Well, the waves keep coming, but there are bosses that you can actually unlock, but you have to initiate a bunch of stuff, little challenges and stuff in the park to make them appear and so forth.
Okay.
So, like I said, it's got a lot of secrets that you discover through playing over and over.
So there's quite a bit of depth to it then, by the sounds of it.
Yeah, I really gotta, I think I gotta figure out and see if there's an actual end, but either way, if there isn't, it's still a lot of fun. I don't know why it's so much fun. It's stupid. I've been playing lots of it, and I never played a zombies game, and I imagine it's in line with all the other zombie modes that they've had in other games, which I know people in the past have said, oh, I just play zombies, and I never understood it before. I always thought zombies was throwaway, this throwaway multiplayer mode, and was stupid.
Yeah, I mean, I'd played a ton of, or a little bit of it, where Black Ops 3 or whatever, at the end when they tried to get you to play it, and I played that little bit, and then just kind of felt like, okay, this isn't really for me, and moving on.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. Me and my brother-in-law are having a lot of fun playing it. I've been playing it a lot solo. I was playing it before I came down here to record even.
Oh, nice.
I don't know what it is. It's just satisfying blowing zombies to bits.
Yeah, that's super true.
And you're always on your toes. You're always moving. And it's neat. And it's like, oh, I got this gun. And I totally powered up this gun. And I did this. And I got this far. And I unlocked this part. And it's really challenging.
I can see how that would be. I can see how that would be fun then.
Yeah, it was good. So yeah, I'm pretty impressed with the Call of Duty Infinite Warfare package, and I think I've only digested half of the content that comes with it.
Oh, fair enough.
Still the whole.
I mean, if you're, instead of playing the multiplayer, I mean, we said before that we felt that the Titanfall had the better multiplayer.
I want to go back and play some more Titanfall, which I definitely will.
It's cool then that you've got a type of multiplayer happening in the Infinite Warfare that's, making it worthwhile in a way, right?
Still. And I don't know if I'll play the campaign again. I'm sure I will, not immediately, but down the road again, I'll be like, yeah, I want to play that again because it was really good.
No, that's awesome to hear.
So yeah, Call of Duty Infinite Warfare.
Good video games are always awesome.
The Call of Duties. I've been playing tons of Pokemon Moon still. I am 30 hours in now and on the third island.
Wow.
So, yeah, that game's awesome. There's so many. I guess as we're talking about it, I'm going to talk about some tips. If any of you are playing
Ooh.
Pokemon Moon, I don't know if you are because I'm the only man baby around here, or man child.
I'm actually not playing. This is the first Pokemon game in a while that I'm actually not playing.
So, in the old Pokemon games, you used to have what in the business was called a move slave. You would have a Pokemon that was specifically trained with HM moves, like Cut and Fly and Strength and Rock Smash, or was it Rock Smash or Rock Break? Like moves that would...
so that you could open up areas in the actual level, right?
Exactly. They allowed you to traverse the world, but you had to teach those moves to a Pokemon. So you had a Pokemon stuck with a bunch of... They weren't shit moves, because if the Pokemon was strong...
They were borderline useless, though.
Yeah, it wasn't a hindrance. And then you had to have a water Pokemon with Surf and Waterfall. So half his moves are like tied up with the traversal moves.
Right.
They got rid of that in this. I can't remember if I said this in the last episode or not, but not so detailed. Like now you just get Pokemon you ride on. So you have a Pokemon, a Tauros, who smashes through rocks. And then
nice.
You get a Charizard that you fly on to fly between all the places. And I don't have the swim ability yet, but I've seen photos or video of you riding a Sharpedo. So
that's sweet.
And then there's other characters that you get later on with other abilities. So you don't have to have a Pokemon with any of those moves. You'll have actual Pokemon. You just ride, and basically they call it the ride pager. You essentially just page them, and then they like just appear, and then you're wearing a helmet and elbow pads and knee pads, and you're all like safe.
Safety first, ladies and gentlemen. Safety first.
You're all safe riding your Pokemon.
Cruising around. Can you bully people, rough them up with your Pokemon?
No.
Oh.
And another thing I just figured out today while we were recording, you can actually like teach moves to your Pokemon over TM moves or technical machine moves. Before you had to go to the move deleter who would delete moves that you had taught. And in this one you could just, I might be missing something, but I know when you had HMs, the other moves like Surf and Fly and stuff, you can undo those, and since those don't exist in this one, you could just teach them moves and change them around all you want. It's kind of nice. A little tip I would suggest, and what I do when I play, is my first Pokemon in my party is carrying an amulet, or is it amulet coin?
I don't know.
What the hell is it called? I think that's what it's called.
That sounds right.
Now I gotta look it up. Handy. I have my 3DS right in front of me. It is...
Never leave home without it, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, where is it? Yeah, amulet coin. I bring it up because if the first Pokemon in your party who initiates the battle has that, when you're doing a trainer battle, not random battles, a trainer battle, it like doubles the currency you get when you win.
Oh, nice.
So it really buffs your money. So I have like a crap ton of money because I started just doing that really early. It does limit you from carrying a Z crystal for a Z move, but usually what I do is for my first Pokemon, I just have a really weak one that I switch out. It slows battle down a tiny bit, but I'm making lots of bank, and they're getting more experience because they were part of the fight. So it's
dollar bills, y'all. Dollar bills,
It's also how I level some of my lower level Pokemon.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
And yeah, anyway, game's awesome. I'm still loving it.
So did they keep in the rollerblades from the last game?
No, you don't need them.
Because you can ride Pokemon, so you just ride on a Pokemon like a boss?
Yeah, and they're fast, so I don't know. There might be a bike later on, but I haven't seen it or
haven't come across it.
I don't know how far. I must be over the halfway point because I've done 2 of the island trials, and I've gotten a couple crystals on the 3rd island. So I think I'm maybe a smidge over halfway. It's a huge game. Seems it's really big.
Wow,
he's awesome. I really like it.
But you said that there's no 3D in this game.
No, there's no 3D, and it slows down like balls on the old 3DS.
I'm not playing it without 3D.
On
Makes me angry.
what is it? On the old 3DS, the 4-player battles? Really?
Yeah.
Excuse me. Oh. Sorry, I'm yawning.
Slow down huge just because the system's so old.
The 4-player battles, bring the system to a crawl. It literally drops all the frames.
Oh,
and it also
that's
takes.
What I have is I have one of the originals.
It also takes a lot longer to load on the old 3DS. I saw a video on YouTube. Apparently, it reboots your 3DS, launching the game, and
what
and clearing
so that it doesn't load the.
I think it clears a bunch of the system memory to load the game. Anyway, not a big deal once you're in. For the most part, it's not noticeable. There's not a lot of those battles. Of course, on the new 3DS, there's no dips, and it loads faster.
Yeah, on the new 3DS. Doesn't even use 3D, though.
I know, but it's probably a little too taxing. So, I saw you playing this on the weekend. Why don't you share with us what you were doing with your filthy free time?
Oh, I'm a little bit ashamed of myself, but at the same time, I'm not, because I had fun, and that's really what matters. So, I noticed that Elder Scrolls Online was doing a free weekend. So I don't know if anybody out there knows, but a while ago, ESO Online, or Elder Scrolls Online, as I will be referring to it from this point forward, they didn't go free to play, but what they did do is they removed the subscription requirement. So there's no longer a subscription required to play the game. You can pay one price to get the game, and that's all you need.
So you still have to buy the game.
You do have to buy the game.
Except for on this free weekend, you didn't have to buy it, obviously.
I didn't have to buy it. And if you did decide to buy it, it was only $13.
You're playing it on Steam, right? That's where I saw you.
I am. Yeah. I am playing it on Steam. And so I played it in the beta when it first, obviously before it was actually even released. And it had some issues. And it just didn't feel, I don't know, at the time compared to something like Guild Wars 2, it felt somewhat bland and not nearly as well put together or thought out. Since they've actually done a ton of work on the game, they've released a bunch of DLC, they've changed the way the starting area is, they changed the way a lot of the mission structure, all for the better. It's now what they call Tamriel 1 world or whatever. I can't remember their exact wording for it, but essentially what used to be the case was that certain areas were set at certain levels. So if you were a crazy high level and then your friends started playing, the enemies were just either awesomely hard or terrifyingly low level. Now they actually scale to your level. So the idea being that you can kind of go anywhere in the world at any time. Obviously some areas they're going to be a lot harder, but it's not going to be impossible is sort of the idea.
Huh.
A lot more like the Elder Scrolls single player games have been on console. So I jumped in, talk about a massive download. I think it was 80 gigs, 80 or 90 gigs.
Wow.
Huge download. I was kind of surprised, but whatever. And yeah, I thought, what the heck, it's a free download right now. I'll give it a shot, see how it's changed since beta. And yeah, I kind of got sucked in. It had been a while since I played an MMO. It was something that I kind of needed in my life from every time. I find every once in a while I go through a phase where I just need to play an MMO. I just go out there, drop a bunch of hours into running around and just exploring in the huge world and all of the rest of the nonsense that goes along with it. This one's pretty cool. There's a bit of a story arc that's happening. Like I said, they did a better job of once I was surprised. The very, very beginning is very similar to how it was in beta. You know, you wake up as the Nameless One and you have a destiny or whatever.
You have amnesia.
And kind of not quite amnesia. You're a soulless bastard. You're pretty much a ginger. You're what they call a vessel. So you've actually been killed, but you're still alive. It's this weird thing. The guy kind of tries to explain it. So you do your thing, you escape from that area, and then from there, they've done a better job of sort of focusing you and allowing you at the same time to run around and do whatever you want, but kind of giving you a bit of a purpose off the bat to kind of focus your energy and go here and sort of do this. And these are the things that are happening, and this is why you want to go here and do that or whatever. And it's fun. You don't level like crazy fast. I think I dropped about 8 or 10 hours over the course of the weekend. And I think I'm at level 8 now. So unlike some games where you level like crazy fast off the bat till about level 20 or so, this one seems to be a little bit slower. One thing I really appreciate about the Elder Scrolls Online is that the way that they handle leveling up abilities when it comes to things like swords and bow and arrows and great swords and things, your weapons and things like that. In a lot of games, every time you level up, you get attribute points or skill points that you can put into whatever it is you want to put into, and that will make you better at wielding swords or shooting fireballs or what have you, right? In this, you get better at using a bow or using a staff or using heavy armor or light armor by actually using those. So it's cool. I'm a mage running around.
So it's like the Skyrim games. Or the other
yeah.
Scroll. You level up those items by using them, or those skills.
And it's way nicer. Obviously, as you level up certain items, like your sword ability or I'm playing as a mage, a sorcerer, actually.
Sorcerer Supreme?
I'm a dark elf sorcerer supreme, obviously. Duh. And so for me, using the destroyer staff levels it up, and then of course various skills with those staffs are kind of locked so that when you do obtain skill points, you can put them into those various abilities. But the thing is that instead of just throwing abilities at stuff all the time, you actually have to use those items to a certain point before those even unlock to begin with, which I think is a cool way to go about it. If there's one thing that kind of frustrates me with RPGs and MMOs, which are, I guess, are RPGs, but is the gating out of various things just based on some number or some thing that they decided that you can't use heavy armor because you're a mage, or you can't use light armor because you're a fighter, or whatever they decide. I think it's cool that if you want to be a mage and you want to rock the heavy armor, there might be some reasons why that's not obviously the best route to take from a magic wielding perspective. But if that's what you want to do, you can totally do that, and you will get better at using the heavy armor. And I think that's a cool way to go about it. I really like that because I feel that it allows you to really play a bit more how you want to play. Because you can totally be a sorcerer with these cool fireball spells and lightning spells or whatever, but if you want, you could dual wield daggers or have a sword, or just it really changes up the way that you can play, and I think that's cool. Yeah, so I don't know. I've been I may or may not have thrown some small money at them because it was like $13 over the weekend
funny.
To get my mount,
I've seen
get myself a horse.
A couple people on my PlayStation 4 friends list actually play. I see them online playing that a lot.
Yeah, regularly.
So
yeah,
so
we'll see. I don't know if it'll stick for long or not, but I figure $13 for 10 hours of my time is not a big deal, and it's obviously there are.
So you buy it once, and then there's no monthly subscription.
Yep.
So even if you bought it for $13, you can keep playing it, kind of like Destiny.
That's what I love about it. That's absolutely the key there.
I've heard all right things about it. I personally just don't have time for an MMO.
I know.
Hearing all the good talk about World of Warcraft and Legion,
Oh, dude, if there wasn't a subscription attached to that, I would have jumped on that.
Yeah.
I would have jumped on it already. For me, it's the subscription. It's the fact that I tend to stop playing these things for a while, and then I'll come back. But it's such a pain in the ass to stop your subscription and then start it again later if you decide to play it. I like the Guild Wars, or in this case, the ESO, where you just you pay for it once. And if I want to come back to it 6 months from now, my character's still there. I can still play it. It's not a big deal.
Yeah, I feel bad just not getting to, like, if I'm paying for one of those games, not paying, like playing. I feel bad.
No, exactly, because you feel like you're just throwing money away. Because you are, essentially. If you're not playing, you're not using it, you are just giving them money.
For nothing.
Exactly.
Cool.
So,
well, I'm glad you enjoyed that.
Yeah. Yeah, it was a bit of a change of pace from all the shooters that I've been playing recently. So
I still gotta play Battlefield. That's now like my pile of shame. I really want to play more Dishonored because that game's freaking awesome. I guess that's for what you've been playing. Get in some news. The news. Welcome to the news. My terrible bumper for you.
Yeah.
Really
talking about news.
I keep saying I'm gonna get bumpers made, but man, I gotta play these video games.
I know. Make bumpers, get video games.
I gotta ignore my baby and play video games. I ain't got time to do work on the podcast. What the hell? So I think this was like late or after we recorded. There is rumor that you are probably going to get to change our names on PlayStation Network, our usernames, which is something you can't do, something you can pay to do on Xbox Live. I think you can actually get one free name change, and then after that it costs like $10 if you want to change your account name. So like if you're like Weed Blunts Smoker 420 and you're just like, hey, I made that when I was 16 and now you're 26 and married, or 36 and married, you kind of might want to change that because, when you're at work and someone asks you what your gamer tag is, you're like, murder people guy. Like, it's just not appropriate.
Yeah, sorry, I hear that.
I couldn't think of any bad names. But on PlayStation, you can't.
Right. They
force you to create a new account if you have a name that they don't like. But you can't transfer any of your like trophies or progress or like that account is done. It's gone. So people have been really upset about that. And an update in Unreal Engine 4 software update for the PS4 kind of people spotted there was some like reference to switching your online ID. So
interesting.
Sounds like if it's going to happen, something that's going to happen at PlayStation Experience next weekend.
Right, because is that next weekend already?
Not this coming weekend, but yeah, the following
Okay,
December.
the following weekend. Right,
Yeah.
it's the first weekend.
I was going to go.
Man.
My wife was like, "Yeah, let's go. We can go for your birthday," and she's like, "We can go," and I'm like, I did the math and stuff, and I'm like, "Yeah, just we can afford it." And I'm like, you know what? I'm getting a PlayStation 4 Pro instead.
Fair enough.
Because it would have cost us
bastard.
like $1,500. If we hadn't just been in Disneyland this summer, then I would have gone because Anaheim Convention Center is like basically across the street from Disneyland.
Right.
And then I would have been like, oh, sweet. Because that's why she's cool with it. She's like, oh, we'll just go to Disneyland. But maybe we'll go next year. Because we just went in the summer, so. And I don't know. To watch a bunch of videos and announcements and shit that I could do from home, it's
Yeah.
a smarter decision to stay home. We're going to spend a lot of money. Christmas is coming up here.
Oh, yeah. Christmas is coming. Baby's first Christmas.
So we'll find out. I imagine that's going to be announced there. I don't care to talk about this. This is a non-story. So I'm just deleting that. Just get all our Nintendo stuff here. Destructoid just did a little story. You know how we were talking about the NES classic
shortages
not being in stock and Nintendo being a bunch of fuckers.
Yep. They may not have talked about that for a while last week.
They posted a story on Destructoid just pointing fun because the timing seems very appropriate with the NES Classic and classic Nintendo shortages. It's only taken a year and some change to sort out Amiibo stock problems. So if you've actually been into a Toys R Us or GameStop lately, you've probably noticed what was termed in the early Amiibo days. I don't know. I think they're still selling fine, but the fervor's like totally died out. Like no one's going crazy for them. But if you were to walk into a store today, you'll actually see the shelves filled with a bunch of what we used to call unicorns.
The hard to find ones.
Yeah, like the impossible ones. The ones that like never even hit the shelves. Like Robin and Lucina from Fire Emblem. And they got a lot of stocks of like old school, old ones that also have been super hard to get. So anyway, if you're into Amiibo or you're just starting, now is not a bad time to find some of the hardest ones.
Stop. If you're just starting, just stop.
Yeah,
because there's no point.
Exactly.
Just don't bother. Just
while you're ahead, just quit.
Yeah.
But it was just funny. They're just pointing out, it's like, look, it only took them a year, let's see what happens with the freaking NES Classic. And like you were worried about last year, hopefully the Switch doesn't get super fucked. Because people are very excited for the Switch. And
you heard it here first. The Switch is going to be a fucking nightmare, Gong Show.
I hope not.
It is going to be the fact that they have not shown virtually anything about it, and this thing comes out in less than 4 months. That tells me right off the bat that they are not ready. These things are not being made en masse, because otherwise they would be stockpiling the snot out of them already.
Yeah.
And they would be pushing them. I feel like this is going to be one of those situations where
it's going to be like the Wii,
but worse, probably.
I hope not.
Because everybody wants this to be awesome. The Wii was a weird thing because that was everybody just jumping on board because it was the new hot item.
Mm.
Now we're in a situation where the Wii U was such a huge disappointment to so many people that they want Nintendo to succeed. So you've got a lot of Nintendo hardcores.
They may be coming
they're
back
chomping at the bit. Yeah,
but
or
also
they're hungry. They're people that bought Wii U's and were really disappointed, and they want that Switch to be awesome. They want it to be great again.
Well, and
they want to resurrect their Nintendo 64 / GameCube days when they were growing up, and they want it to be cool and awesome. And they want Nintendo on top.
The reveal trailer gives a lot for everyone to be excited about too. So that probably doesn't help. Like it looks like something cool. So take that all into perspective.
I foresee next year the Switch being...
It's going to be the hard...
If they pre-order, those are going to be sold out instantly.
If you can pre-order, I hope.
If they don't pre-order, it is going to be a total nightmare.
They better do pre-orders or I'm going to be effing pissed.
I really, really hope they do, because if they don't, they're really, really dumb, because that doesn't give them any idea of what demand is. At least if they pre-order, they can say, this is how many we have, and spread this around to wherever their launch areas are. So if they're, I don't know where they're launching first, if it's Japan and North America, or if it's North America.
It's going to be a worldwide launch.
Yeah.
I think
that's going to be hard.
I think one of the rumors was that it was region free. Well, to add fuel to the fire and to obviously not help supply the Switch, our friend Jason Schreier at Kotaku, way of Eurogamer, who has busted basically all the rumors and correct information about the Switch up to this point, has said that there's going to be a version of Pokemon Sun and Moon, codenamed right now Pokemon Stars. Kind of like, the Red and Blue, and they had the yellow version, which is both games together. It has all the content.
Interesting.
So apparently there's going to be a Pokemon Stars for the Switch coming out in late 2017.
Late 2017? So a year from now?
Well, it'll be next fall, right? So that makes sense. And then obviously it'll look better because it's going to be on a more powerful system, which, if I could play this amazing Pokemon game on the Switch, wow, another reason that I want this thing more. And oh crap, Pokemon Sun and Moon are doing so well that it's going to be...
And think about this. Now it's got more horsepower to make Pokemon Sun and Moon look better.
Yeah. So now all the Pokemon fans are going to want to Switch now that may not have, random people who've come back. I've seen so many pictures on Twitter and Imager of people who haven't played Pokemon since the originals, posting photos of I went out and bought a 3DS and the new Pokemon game. I haven't played since way back in the day.
Yeah, but I played Pokemon Go this summer and it reignited my love for Pokemon, and now I'm obsessed again.
It's hilarious.
So, again, you heard it here first. The Switch is going to be a gong show.
Yeah, I hope not. I hope you're wrong.
I hope I'm wrong too, but I know I'm right.
Todd Howard from Bethesda, Skyrim, Fallout fame.
Yes.
What the heck? This is not the right story. What the hell happened here? Oh no.
He came out and said that the Nintendo Switch has one of the best demos he's ever seen.
Yeah.
He said that it's a game changer and it's awesome.
Okay. For whatever reason, I don't have the link. It's screwed up. Yeah, he came out and said the Switch has one of the best demos he's ever seen. Just like Dane just said. There's an echo in here repeating him. And basically he was like, we're definitely going to support it. So, which is really funny because usually, I don't think Bethesda's really even supported any of the other Nintendo systems, has it?
They have
there's no Skyrim or Fallout
game
on any of the Wii systems.
They have not supported a Nintendo system, I believe, since the Super Nintendo, where they released a few smaller games back before they were even Bethesda, as we know them now.
Yeah.
So, yeah. The fact that they feel that there is a reason why they should actually get on board and build stuff for the Switch only makes me that much more interested to know more about the Switch.
Mm-hmm.
If we weren't already ready to pre-order it, that just makes it that much more me wanting to pre-order it. And this is coming from somebody who says don't pre-order fucking games.
Well, yeah, to see someone like him, especially when they totally just sidestep the Wii and the Wii U and the GameCube before that. I don't think they've really supported Nintendo console, period. And Bethesda makes some good games, and for them to be excited because the Switch is obviously doing some new stuff, that's really cool.
Dishonored 3 on the Wii, on the Nintendo Switch.
I don't think so. They'll probably bring
No, probably not.
Probably bring Skyrim Remastered and Fallout 4 to it. And Doom, potentially.
Oh, yeah, okay. Doom is a game I would play. The other two I could really care less about.
Uncharted 4 is getting the survival mode. It'll be playable at PlayStation Experience. It's a co-op wave-based, level-based progression system. It's a horde mode. And Uncharted across 50 waves, 10 maps.
Wow, 50 waves.
Shoreline mercenaries, heavily armored brutes, snipers, hunters, and more. Every 10 waves culminates in an intense bass battle.
You're going fishing, son. You're going fishing.
Boss battle. Does it say that does it say anything about cost here? Blah, 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 blah.
How many players is this for?
I missed it here.
I'm looking right now. I can't see where it says how many players. It just says it's multiplayer.
They show 3 people in the video.
Right.
It doesn't say anything about a cost. I'm going to guess that it's probably a free update. I got to go back and play Uncharted 4 because it has pro support.
Oh. Did they add HDR support in it? Or did they just add pro support?
They added. Yes, there is HDR because I remember there being HDR. It asks when it
toggle.
When it booted up, but I didn't actually play it because I had to go.
That game was great.
That game is really good. I can't tell, and it doesn't say. Excuse me. So that's coming.
Interesting.
I'll learn more in a week and a bit.
I think I still have Uncharted 4 installed on my PS4, taking up 60 gigs or something stupid like that.
That's why I gotta get 2 gig, man.
I really do need to upgrade the hard drive in my PlayStation 4 because it is now. Whenever I get a new game, I do the eeny meeny miny mo. Which old game shall I uninstall? Game, and it sucks.
Did I share the story about upgrading or moving hard drives on my Pro last week?
No, not on your Pro.
Okay, so I'll try and make this quick. My old PS4, I upgraded to a 2 terabyte.
Right.
Basically when I got it. A decent speed, not anything super crazy expensive, but just a good...
Right, like a nice 7,200 RPM.
No, it wasn't 7,200. It was only 5,400.
Really? Oh.
The speeds were debatable for the cost difference. Anyway.
Okay, fair enough.
So I wanted to move that 2 terabyte into my PS4 Pro because the Pro only comes with a 1 terabyte 5,400 RPM. And I'm
right.
Like, okay, sweet. But I couldn't just transfer one to the other. Like, there's a method where you can use the Ethernet cable, or if they're both on the same network, they can transfer one to the other. But like, that doesn't help me because I don't have a second 2 terabyte to transfer the contents of the 1 2 terabyte. I needed to take that hard drive out of my old PS4. So I had to, do you know what I mean? Because I wanted to move the hard drive because I didn't want to buy another one because that one's only a year old.
Right.
So I had to back it up to an external. So luckily I think I was just over a terabyte of data on it. So I had to delete some things, which was mainly all demos and crap. So it didn't really affect my real content. I had to back it up to an external, and I have an external 1 terabyte. Thankfully.
Okay, good.
It only took 10 hours.
Wow.
So I essentially had to do...
Why did it take so long?
Well, it's terabytes and terabytes.
That's not that big. You were transferring it over USB 3?
The hard drive is USB 3, but I think the USB ports on a PS4 are only USB 2. I'm not sure.
Oh, man.
But anyway, if you think about it, how long would it take you to... Well, you have fast internet, so fuck you. I was going to say... Taking a terabyte to download a terabyte would take several hours. Like, let's be honest, even if you have fast internet.
No, it would. Yeah.
So
terabyte is a lot because even 100 gigs would take me a few hours.
Yeah. So
yeah,
a terabyte would probably take you overnight at least. So it's not that bad, but it is that bad. So I just did it overnight. Not a big deal. Take out the hard drive, put it in my new PS4 Pro. And then when you put a new hard drive in a PS4, you need to actually download the newest firmware update and put it in a folder called PS4, and then put it in a folder called update inside of that folder on your root of your USB, and you have to have
Right.
the full system update file, which is like 800 megs. Boot up with the USB in there, because right away it realizes there's no OS on the hard drive you put in. And it's like, oh,
Right.
I need to format this. Oh, and we need the system files. And then it looks on the USB and does its thing. It's like, sweet. Okay, clean install PS4 Pro with my 2 terabyte drive. Then
Nice.
I back up. It takes a whole other night to back up from the external back to the PS4. Which,
Right, so you're pulling all that data
Yeah,
off of the 1
so
terabyte drive
it-
down to the 2 terabyte.
So it went smoothly. It took 2 nights, essentially.
Right.
But, it sure beats having to download like 50 games, and that would have taken days, if not a week, to re-download everything.
Yeah.
So,
Especially, I mean, in your case, not an issue. Not in mine either at the moment.
for the average person,
But
I
for
think
people
it would have been
that has data caps, that would be
Oh, yeah.
horrible, right?
and or just people who aren't very familiar with swapping hard drives out and knowing knowing that there's even a backup functionality, or that you
Yeah.
can restore from an external drive, or backup to and restore from. It would have been a lot easier if I was just going system to system, but I needed to move that whole hard drive.
Right.
But yeah, I did it all. And then I was like, hey, now I have a 1 terabyte hard drive. Oh, I guess I'll just upgrade my old PS3, which only had a 500. So I put the PS4 Pro 1 terabyte in the PS3 and had to do the exact same process over again.
Yeah, I remember upgrading the hard drive in my PS3 a while ago, and that was because I have a 60 gig launch PS3 that's still working, but of course 60 gigs is pretty small. So I believe I put a
Was the launch
500 gig.
PS3 60 gig?
Yeah.
Really? Wow.
You got to remember, they came in 20 gig and 60 gig off the bat.
The launch,
Those were the
launch
two.
PS3 also had the 100% PlayStation 2
Backwards compatibility.
Yeah, so those were the
Yeah,
those were
buddy.
the rare. That's right, because I sold mine for a pretty penny when I
so
got
I
rid
still
of
have
it.
mine. I still have my 60 gig full backwards compatible PS3
Mm. Nice.
because it's funny, I had a 40 gig that my parents had bought for me that was about 80% backwards compatible. It was that weird in between one.
the software thing. When
Yeah.
they got rid of the chip. Yeah.
Yeah, and then it died. So then I went out and I managed to find a 60 gig launch PS3. And that has been solid ever since. So yeah.
Yeah.
And I remember doing that process.
I upgraded that. Someone was complaining on the internet. A couple people were complaining on the internet that they don't. Oh, I wish you could just plug in an external to PS4,
Right.
which makes sense because you can do it on the Xbox, and I think that's great. But to be honest, I being a more technical person, I'd rather have the bigger hard drive internal, so I don't have something stupid dangling off my system. Like on my Xbox One, I have a terabyte drive hanging off the back of it, which is just
Right.
like kind of
That's kind of
it's
annoying.
kind of a pain when I have to
Yeah.
move it around.
Is yours
and
a
stuff.
powered one?
No,
or is
no,
it
no.
just a small one?
It's a USB. This is powered by the Xbox One, so it's not a.
Right, so it's a
huge
small
deal.
one.
It is 10 times easier than the PS4 though, in terms of adding more space, because you just plug it in and boom.
Right. And also, you could unplug it and take it to your friend's house.
Mm-hmm. There are a few benefits to how Microsoft does theirs system,
That is nice.
but I wish I had the option to pop open a little tab like on the PS4 and pull it out and put in my own. Like, I really wish I could do that, just from like my anal OCD, more clean installation.
Well, the thing is, too, is that the SATA drive, the SATA interface is much faster than the USB 3.
yeah, like
So-
being in the system as well. Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean, there's also that as well, right?
Yeah.
You're going to get faster read and writes.
Speaking of Xbox, games with gold for December were announced, and not a bad month.
Really?
Well, Sleeping Dogs, whatever. I think we've gotten that on PlayStation Plus in the past.
I swear I have that on like 3 systems.
And Outlast was also PlayStation Plus. And I swear to God, Outland has been PlayStation Plus as well. But
Outlast, you mean?
Outlast and Outland. There's too many.
Oh yeah, you're right. Sorry, wow.
Too many outs here.
Jeez.
But the big winner, chicken dinner, is Burnout Paradise.
That's awesome.
That's an amazing game, and
that game is great.
It is now backwards compatible. So if you had the digital version of that game, which I think I only had the physical version. I think I had that on PlayStation. So
I have it on PS3, and I know you do because we played it together on PS3.
Yeah, that game is fucking awesome.
I still have it on PS3.
I still have it too. But to have it on my Xbox One will be pretty nice.
Yeah, that'll be sweet.
So not a bad lineup. Outland is a good game, and Outlast is a good survival horror game. And Sleeping Dogs, unfortunately, those guys are gone now, but wasn't a bad. It was a well received title, not like setting the world on fire, but not a terrible lineup. It doesn't make me cringe and go ugh,
that's cool.
Like last month.
Sleeping Dogs Definitive Edition. That I will definitely be grabbing a few of these for sure. Why does Outland seem so familiar?
It's an
arcade title.
It was on PlayStation Plus at some point. I think it's a Housemarque game or something. I know it says Ubisoft on it, but I think it's like Housemarque made it.
And I just realized, little off topic, but still on topic. Darksiders War Mastered Edition is now out.
It's cheap too, isn't it?
I don't know. I gotta talk to my people and see if I can get my hands on that. That game. Playing that game on PC.
It, right?
Yeah, I'm probably 3/4 of the way through the PS3 version of it right now because I do own it on PS3. I also own the second one on PS3 as well, which I do want to play because those are by far and away the best Zelda games that have come out in a very long time. So.
I have the second one. I think I have it on 360.
I might even own the second one on PC. It might even be in my Steam library.
I beat the first one. That was a good game.
Yeah,
I don't have time for
there. I just need to do it.
I don't have time for remasters. Too many good new games coming out.
There are, but I still think that I still appreciate being able to go back and play some of these great games.
I do
with better graphics.
I agree, but not in.
And sometimes they're in my pile of shame. They're a game I bought and purchased, and now to try and go back to them, they're hard on the eyes.
Yeah.
So the fact that they remaster them and make them look pretty, it's like, hey,
that's true.
I can play this again now.
That's true.
Cool. I missed it the first time, but now there's a bit of a lull because it's February and nobody's releasing anything, and I can play something. This is great. So in that regard, I'm quite excited about it, actually.
Titanfall 2's first DLC drops next week on my birthday.
That's crazy. I can't believe that's already happening.
Like, yo, happy birthday. And remember how we were complaining about maps, or you were complaining? Because you're a big baby, always crying all the time.
I wasn't.
I'm just kidding. I'm breaking your balls. Angel City, everyone's favorite map.
That's awesome. I did like Angel City. It's a good map.
So
from the first game.
It's free next week.
Sweet. And if you pre-order, you get it early. What?
Really?
Yeah.
No, you don't.
Yeah.
What? Really?
Yeah. Yeah.
You're making shit up.
No, I'm serious.
Well, it's free for everyone on the 30th.
It is free for everybody, but I could have swore I remember reading if you pre-ordered it, you got it like a few days early or something like that.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I think you're making shit up. But either way, that's pretty awesome because that's a really good map. That's like everyone's favorite map from the first game. So good job, Respawn. Pokemon Go has had a shitload of updates lately. I think right now there's like bonus experience and stuff. If you are still playing or care about Pokemon Go, which most people who listen to this probably don't because it's the stupidest game ever. But
sorry to roll back here real quick.
Uh-oh.
They're also releasing new executions and
they're adding new Titan kits and a new Wingman Elite pistol as well. So there's actually a bunch of content along with the map. So that's pretty sweet.
Cool.
Yeah. So sorry, I was just reading through some of the stuff, and yeah, there's Titan kits.
Oh yeah,
There's
they're adding
there's a new kit for a bunch of different stuff. Essentially, each Titan gets a new kit, which is pretty cool. There's a new Wingman Elite pistol. The map that we talked about, Angel City.
Like, yeah, it's okay. I see this here. I didn't see that. They're
Yeah.
adding an in-game store, so it looks like
Yeah.
all cosmetic stuff. And yeah,
Yep.
their bottom line: if you want it, you buy it.
Yep.
No random bullshit like we were talking about this particular game last week.
Sorry, we can
Yeah,
go back
that's fine.
and track
So
now.
Pokemon Go they've enabled the nearby feature for, I don't know,
Certain
looks
areas.
like the West Coast essentially, and all states and territories of Australia. So Canada and US, all states west of Mississippi, and then Canada's British Columbia, Alberta, Saskatchewan, Manitoba, and western half of Ontario. So yeah, it's kind of like a West Coast. So I don't really know how this works. I noticed it's on my phone. It shows you which Pokemon are near Pokestops in your area, so you can actually go, oh, hey, shit, there's this guy at that Pokestop. I'm going to go there and get him. So
Yeah.
I don't know how it works for like walking around and breaking down more accurate tracking. But
Well, I
hey,
mean, it gives you a better idea of whereabouts in your vicinity
Yeah.
they are.
yeah. So that's
Instead of just wandering around aimlessly in a giant circle hoping to catch that Pokemon that you've been trying to find.
wouldn't-
This at least gives you an idea. Oh, he's over towards, or at least he's near this Pokestop.
yeah.
That is the kicker. It only works if you're near a Pokestop.
I wonder if, and that's the next thing is I got to test it tomorrow. If you're near the Pokestop, if the footprints actually change so you can tell the distance. It must.
So if you click on one of the Pokemon that's showing up as nearby, that Pokemon will show up with feet underneath it. And now we're not sure. Rick pointed this out earlier to me that there was feet there. Now we're not sure if that actually, those will get smaller as you get closer to the Pokemon, or if it's just a matter of those are just there as a cosmetic. We're not sure.
yeah.
So,
Also,
but at least nearby, they're working on it.
yeah,
They're trying to make it sort of useful.
they turned something on. We're like, what the hell?
Ugh. Yeah, I know.
And then apparently people have been capturing Ditto.
I saw that.
He appears as other Pokemon, so you don't know if a trash Pokemon you're going to catch could potentially be a Ditto.
Interesting.
So apparently there's a rumor of a new patch coming out in December where they're going to actually add
Huh.
Gen 2 Pokemon as well. So I guess they're starting to make some headroom with development on that game. I lost steam and stopped playing it again. But who knows, when there's another big update, maybe I'll start. Maybe this nearby thing might do something. I don't know.
Yeah. I don't know.
There's a Venonat and a Zubat at the park by me.
Oh man, we should probably stop this podcast and get going.
No, those are commons. If they were rare. You put this on
Yeah.
here. Valve
I did.
has added OS VR support in Steam, and I actually just saw this on Twitter after you mentioned it. Razer
Oh, that's funny.
tweeted it out. Steam has added the OS VR category. So
Which is OSVR stands for Open Source Virtual Reality. It's essentially. Oh, hold on! A wild Tauros appeared. I gotta catch a Tauros. I'm not even joking.
it's open. It's the open VR group
Standard.
out there, standard that Razer's like been pushing, or that they're kind of behind. They're at least making the headsets, but it's open to anyone to create software for it or implement or make games and so forth. And this just adds some cool legitimacy to the whole project with Steam going, hey, because the OS VR actually works with a lot of the Vive games.
exactly.
That don't require the wands from the Vive, but since it's open source, it does play nice with a lot of the Vive stuff. So I guess Steam is like, oh well, we'll make a category for your stuff over here in the corner.
I think it's cool because one, the OSVR currently is definitely cheaper than the other ones. I'm hearing that it's pretty good, but it has some issues, but it is open source, so essentially anybody could jump in and fix those issues. So it'll be interesting to see moving forward, because essentially what they're trying to do is create standards. So the idea being that if other people want to come on board and build a headset, as long as it adheres to these standards, that's cool. So right now we have multiple headsets all with different standards, and nobody's really laying down a law saying, look, if we all adhere to these, then it's just a matter of who makes a better headset or what kind of features you offer in your headset. It doesn't really matter because we can all play the same game.
And the consumers win because you don't get this crap of this game's available here and not available there, which is kind of the problem right now in the PC marketplace, because Oculus kind of like wants everything to be
well, they want it to be in their walled garden, right? Because if they put it in their walled garden, then they make all the money, and
then it forces you to buy their headset.
Yeah, and you see certain exclusives that are only coming out on their headsets, and so on and so forth. So this is a cool thing to see Valve getting on board with as well. Mm-hmm. So currently they've added, like you said, a search function, so you can search by OSVR games. And from what I understand, especially if you've been making a Vive game and even an Oculus game, it doesn't sound like it's very difficult to get it working with the OSVR as well. So one other thing that's really neat about the OSVR headset is that it is totally customizable. So you can change out all of the components of that headset depending on what you feel, or if you wanted, you could actually 3D print various other pieces for the headset. So it's kind of a neat system. I was looking at it a while ago. I mean, I think we've talked about it on the podcast before, just because it is open source and it is definitely cheaper. It was quite a bit cheaper than the other headsets, but it has a surprising amount of similar technology. They did release what they're calling the HDK2. Not too much. That came out a while ago, so there's definitely some improvements over the HDK1. So it's cool. It's cool to see. I'm glad to see that VR is expanding, and I feel like this is only gonna help things. So, yeah.
Cool. Yeah. So that's it for news. Not much. Probably has.
Yeah, bit of a. To be fair, we're also recording a little earlier than we normally do.
Yeah, we're going to be missing a couple of days, so hopefully there's nothing breaking. So PSAs, public service announcement. Yes. By the time you've listened to this, we're going to be pretty close to, if not on, Black Friday.
Oh yeah, that's the thing that's happening in the US of A.
A lot of the digital stores, well, it's in Canada as well. Don't diss us, man. We're following our...
Oh, that's true.
It's like everywhere.
We're starting to do that.
So, PlayStation Network, PSN, their Black Friday sale has already started, and actually a lot of digital storefronts on PC and so forth. A few of them have already started their sales.
Check your Origin. Right now they're offering 30% off Titanfall 2 and 50% off Star Wars Battlefront.
Yeah, I think...
So if those were games that you were interested in possibly thinking about grabbing, now is a great time to do that.
$53 for Canadian. Obviously less in the US. I think 30 something for Battlefield and Titanfall. They're both reduced.
That's crazy.
Mm-hmm. And then on PSN, they have tons of games on sale right now. One of the main ones that I bring up here, heads up to Nelson, because he actually texted me because he was listening to last week's podcast and like, hey, you were talking about Star Wars. It's $10 on the PlayStation Store. Now,
Wow.
I have no interest in playing Star Wars Battlefront multiplayer. It looked cool,
Yeah.
but I don't care to play it, especially at this point, a year later. I'm sure it's only the most hardcore people that are playing right now, so that'll just be like a nightmare.
Just a heads up. I know I just mentioned this before. Origin, EA, is currently offering a Battlefield 1 Titanfall 2 Deluxe bundle.
Yeah, $75, right?
Well, $93 or Canadian. Sorry. So $75 American. That's normally $186 Canadian.
Oh, yeah, that's less than 50
That's
bucks a
50% off. That's huge. That's huge savings. So if those were games that you were kind of on the fence about, weren't sure if you were going to pick up,
I think physical copies, well, I don't know what the physical sales are on those ones. Yeah, so Battlefront's $10 on PSN.
Star Wars Battlefront Deluxe Edition is $20 right
that's
now.
a waste of money.
Why do you say that?
Because it's just a couple guns and some stupid skins. It's not like
Get this.
It's not the season pass
It's-
stuff.
It's cheaper than the regular one right now. Star Wars Battlefront currently is $29.99. Battlefront Deluxe Edition is $19.99.
That's on PC.
That's on PC on the
ridiculous.
Origin store.
Yeah, on PSN it's $10 for Battlefront, $12.99 for Deluxe. But
Oh,
I
wow.
bring up Battlefront specifically. Gaines, shut up. Keep cutting in here. It's $10, and next month is the X-Wing VR missions for Rogue One. So
Oh,
that's why I bring that up.
right.
So $10 for Battlefront is a frickin' steal. And when they release that VR mission, you will get it because they said it's coming to all owners of Battlefront. And actually, another
Oh.
Darksiders 2 Definitive Edition is $6 for PS4.
Wow.
Mad Max $12. The complete Witcher 3 $33.49. There's a lot of really good. There's
some awesome deals out right now.
a lot of really good games on sale here. So if you have a PlayStation 4 and you're looking for some stuff to play that you might have missed, $15 Batman Arkham Knight.
Wow.
$22
What about the VR?
$22 for Witcher.
Is Batman VR on sale by any chance?
There's no.
'Cause if it is, I'm going to buy it
there's-
right away.
There's no VR games on sale here.
Oh.
And there's also a coupon, and they show it right on the page of the sale. There's an additional code you can enter for another 10% off.
Wow.
So, yeah. So PlayStation's got a crazy sale.
So your wallets are going to be hurt.
Yeah, if you're not sure, I think in Canada, Red Flag Deals has a lot of the Black Friday ads already. And
Right.
if you're looking for video game stuff specifically, Cheap Ass Gamer is really good. They've got all the Black Friday stuff, Canada, US, there that you can find. There's a lot of bundles for 4K TVs with Xboxes and so forth. A couple
PlayStation 4 Pros.
in Canada specifically at Best Buy, 2 deals that I have my eyes on.
Yes.
Xbox One S, retail or exclusive to Best Buy. Blue Xbox One S 500 gig is $299.
Wow.
And that comes with Halo 5 Guardians, which, but it's $80 cheaper than the next cheapest bundle, which is either Battlefield or Gears of War, where I already own both those games. So, hey, for $80 less, considering I want one of those wireless controllers and they're $75, I don't know, this idiot might end up getting an Xbox One S.
Wow. Well, you got that 4K TV now,
Well,
so
I look at
you
it-
got to get that
I
content,
look at
man.
it like I want the wireless controller for my PC, and that's $75.
Right.
I could probably flip my old Xbox for $200, my old Xbox One. So, I don't know.
Yeah, fair enough.
Anyway, and then the other deal was they have a new 3DS, not the XL, but there's a new limited Mario Edition 3DS coming out for $139.
I kind of need to buy that.
Yeah,
Because I still have the original 3DS.
I messaged him on Twitter to see if it was just online only or if it's at the store only, because there's no links for online. Their sale most sales online start at midnight Thursday night, so pretty sure I'm not doing the lineup thing, but yeah, so just be aware.
Oh, heck
Black
no.
Friday, check out our friends at Cheap Ass Gamer for video gaming stuff. There's tons of killer deals. So if there's something you missed and you're on the fence, most likely you can find it with a discount. And then for the free-for-all, I just wanted to talk about our friends at PDP. They make controllers. They sent me an Xbox One Face-Off controller. Xbox One and Windows. It's a
Really?
officially licensed NFL controller for Xbox One and Windows. It comes with a free NFL team faceplate. Your team of choice, so you can support your favorite team. It doesn't come with a team in it. You have to send a little voucher away. Though actually, it's kind of a kicker because it actually costs in Canada. It costs $13 to get the team faceplate sent to you. It does come. It looks like a football leather finished like a football with the little laces in the middle of the controller and the NFL
Yeah,
logo.
I'm looking at it right now on their website, actually.
It's not a bad looking controller. It feels just like the first party Xbox One controller. I think I played the majority of the single player campaign on Infinity War while I was playing on my TV using this controller because it came with a nice, really long USB cable.
Nice.
That's the only thing I don't like about this controller. It's not wireless. It's a wired.
Right.
It's a wired controller. The problem with the Xbox controllers, only first party Xbox has the wireless. I don't know. Maybe some of them have dongles, but unfortunately, this one is a wired controller. I guess for NFL players, if there's lag that is inherent with wireless controllers, which I don't think there is. Maybe if you're crazy or you have batteries that die all the time, you might want a corded controller. It wasn't bad, but I'm so used to playing wireless that the cord really annoyed me. But the controller itself it's a solid controller. It feels good. It's kind of expensive, to say the truth, for the price. I don't know why you would buy this over one of the first-party ones, because I've seen first-party controllers for less than this.
Right.
And they're wireless. I guess the only real thing is if you're an NFL fan and you want your team logo and colors on there, that is kind of cool. Like it is a nice controller in that aspect.
They also offer Mirror's Edge and Titanfall 2 and other controllers as well with cool faceplates.
Yeah, the one they sent me was the
NFL one.
The NFL one. So
Yeah.
if you're on the fence or you're looking at it, it's not a bad controller. For me, it just doesn't make sense for the cost, especially with it being wired. I honestly think it needs to be less expensive, but it is a nice controller. It isn't crappy.
That's good.
Because I think like I said, the wireless controllers here, we'll see in the States, this thing's $49 and it's $56 for a wireless first party.
Right.
No, it's just a plain white controller compared to one with you could potentially get your team on it. The thing that sucks about the team faceplate is it's not free, so that adds some cost to the controller. So you got to take that.
Interesting. Okay.
There's the shipping. You got to take that into account, right? So even if it is less, it's still going to cost you, I think, $10 in the States to get your team faceplate. But that was nice of them. I checked it out. It's nice.
Very cool.
It's a hard argument for someone like me as to why I would want this personally.
Right. I mean, it's interesting because the new Xbox, I believe the Xbox One S, comes with a controller that also has Bluetooth on it.
It has that proprietary Xbox and Bluetooth. That's why I want one of those new ones when I keep talking about the Xbox One S, because then I can Bluetooth it to my PC.
Yeah. Are they selling those controllers by themselves yet?
Yeah, they come in white boxes. There's like 3 or 4. There's a pink one, a blue one, and then a white one.
Okay.
They come in a distinctly different box.
Okay, because I feel like I've been in the stores recently looking for one.
They're expensive.
Because I'm sure there's a cost premium, right?
Yeah. Well, no, it's the same cost as the ones they've replaced, but they're expensive as balls. They're like $75. Our controllers are $50, man. Good old days.
Yeah, I had to buy a new PlayStation 4 controller a while ago because one of mine, I don't know what exactly the deal was, but
It was super weird. It would work fine in the menus of my PS4, but as soon as my wife loaded up Skylanders, none of the buttons would work.
That's random.
Yeah, it was super weird. And only one of my controllers did that, though.
That's very weird.
The other controller was totally fine, and it worked totally fine.
So
now I'm using that as a wired, quote-unquote, PC controller, kind of.
What you do is go to the store, you buy a new PS4 controller, you put the busted one in the package, and you go and return it.
I can tell you right now that controller does not look even remotely new.
Okay, well, if it looks totally...
We wore completely through.
If it looks like you did suplexes on it and freaking...
Well, no, it doesn't even have the rubber
on
the left control stick anymore. The rubber is completely gone.
For me, my stuff all looks mint, so I could get away with that scam. Not that you heard that here. I like to call it the limited unlimited warranty. It's just limited by the size of your balls to go freaking pull the scam. But in your instance, my suggestion would be just throw that out the window.
We just bought a new one.
I think I have. So, what do I have? I think I'm up to like 4 or 5 PS4 controllers.
She got the red one.
I got because the Pro came with the Pro came with another new one.
See, that's the other thing. I have yet to be able to find the new PlayStation 4 controllers in the store.
The new one has a subtly different package, and if you look on the back of the box, it shows the little light bar on the front side in one of the little pictures.
Okay,
but I've only seen the black ones in store, but you would be hard pressed to tell because you can't see it in the package. That little bar on the front.
Right.
But you can see on the back of the package in the little diagram, it shows, you can see the little light bar, the light coming through. They show the line on the front. So, so you can tell that way.
I'll have to keep my eye out because, when we were looking to buy one, I wanted to get one of the new ones.
Yeah, it's only...
But, of course, my wife wanted the red one, so it wouldn't have mattered anyways.
Only in black, and that really does nothing, I don't think.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's fine.
I don't see a benefit to it. It's just a new controller.
I don't play a ton of multiplayer games where it would be overly helpful anyways, but
with that, my friend, I'm going to say we have a show.
Yeah, I think so.
Episode 84 in your ear holes. You can follow me on Twitter at RickF, no K, RICF.
You can always hit me up on Twitter at Dane Cody, at DAYNECODY.
As always, we appreciate you listening. Check us out on Facebook, Geekaholics, Twitter at Geekaholics, Instagram, Geekaholics, everywhere Geekaholics. We're just all running around drunk all over the place playing video games.
Hey man, I resemble that statement.
Rate us on iTunes. And of course, all our American friends and listeners have a fantastic Thanksgiving. Good thoughts. Don't think about all the nonsense going on. Just enjoy your family and play some good video games and know that we love you.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Peace.